everybody, thought you might like to see a quick little preview of Amazon Basics brand new one-port USB wall charger. Now you may be saying, why do I need to see a review on a wall charger? Well, actually there's some neat little features you might want to be aware of this before you make your decision whether to buy it or not. One thing I really love about this is these little indentions right here make it so simple to be able to pull down the adapter so it doesn't get hidden up there and then struggle to pull it out. Yeah, these nice little notches there make it so simple to pull down. Now another little feature is they put a little bit of a resistance spring in here so it doesn't just accidentally flip up just like that. Now you may say, well, why would I need to know about that? It's because if you accidentally plug this thing upside down and you have some weight hanging off this thing, without that resistance, it would just collapse right on up and pull right out of the wall socket, out of the wall. Yeah. So that actually comes in really handy. You plug it in and it's going to stay there. Doesn't matter if it's this direction or that direction, it's going to stay plugged into the wall. Now a couple other things you may want to be aware of on this thing is that it's marked as 5 volts and 2.4 amps. Now why is that important? Well, I looked it up on the science sites and they say that means it's a 12 watt adapter. Now if I compare this directly to Apple's 12 volt adapter here, you can see that it's technically a little bit bigger than Apple's here, but this one's actually heavier. This was actually pretty lightweight. I was surprised about that. Now another thing here is that it's a little shorter, and I also say it's a teeny bit thinner, so there's advantages either way. But here's the best thing about it. You don't just get one of these, 2 of them come in the box. Yeah, so that comes in super handy. I absolutely love the fact that you get 2 of them, so you can throw one in a backpack for travels or maybe going to school or whatever, and the other one you can have home and be charging up an iPhone or iPod or whatever you need to charge up, just like that. Anyway, if you enjoy getting to see what's in the box, make sure to give a thumbs up. Thank you so much.
This is a review of the Jackery Giant 10,400 mAh battery pack. It is silver in color. It features dual 5 volt outputs which are USB. One is rated at 2.1 amps and the second is rated at 1 amp. Inside of the box you'll find the Jackery Giant battery pack, a charging cable to charge it with, a warranty card for a 1-year warranty, and a user guide. It's time to note though that it did not come with an AC wall adapter, so you can use your own or use your laptop or desktop computer. I want to make a note though that if you charge it with a computer with this size of battery, it will take a very long time. If you're using the USB 2.0 port, for example, the output will be 5 volts, but it only has a current capacity of 500 milliamps, so it would take over 20 hours to charge this battery. I'd like to point out that this battery is made of a very nice metal enclosure. It's silver in color, but it's well made and very nicely constructed. It also contains premium Samsung battery cells, which are among the best that you can buy. These types of power cells can be charged typically 500 or more times. While the warranty is 12 months, it states on Amazon that as long as the product has the Jackery logo on it, and in addition, as does the packaging with the same logo, you can get an 18-month warranty on the product. On top you'll see 3 LED bars. If one LED bar is blinking, it means that the battery is charged to less than 10%. If one LED is constantly on, it's between 10 and 33%. If 2 LEDs are on, it's 33 to 66%. And if all 3 LEDs are on, it's between 66 and 100%. Before I do any testing with the battery, I'm going to charge it for 24 hours before I begin any testing. Here on the top you can see a dual LED flashlight that's powered by a off-on switch on the side. If you press it quickly twice, the LED comes on and it's quite bright. It can stay on for up to 700 hours if the batteries are fully charged. Next to that you'll see an in port where you can charge the battery. That's where this cable comes in. You plug it in and then you can connect this to an AC wall charger source, for example, and charge the battery. I strongly recommend that you use an AC wall charging source that has at least 1 amp of output, and I'd recommend if you can find one stronger than that, like 2.1 amps, that I would use that one. Here you can see 2 USB ports. This one here is rated at 5 volts and 1 amp, and this one here is rated at 5 volts at 2.1 amps. This is ideal for your smartphones, and this one's ideal for your smart tablets. If I press this button, you can see that 2 LEDs have come on. So that means that the battery level is between 33 and 66%. It only stays on for a few seconds, but you can see the level of the charge. Like I said, I'm going to charge this before I test it. Here you can see the battery is charging. I have it plugged into an AC wall adapter, and it's charging at 2.1 amps. And you can see that it's charging between 35 and 66%. And this is how it indicates what its charge level is. When it's fully charged, all the LEDs should be on. I'd like to point out that this total package weighs in about 10.4 ounces. This is an ideal size to carry in your backpack, in your briefcase, or maybe even a medium to large purse. It will supply power to charge your smartphone multiple times. My test data will show the results. And in addition to that, it will also give a strong boost to your smart tablet. I want to point out that this is the only cable that comes with the battery pack. This is a USB to a micro USB connector. That means you can be able to charge your Kindle Fires or your Kindles, or maybe even some Android devices. If you want to charge other items like an iPhone, you're going to have to use your own cable that came with the device. I want to show here I have it plugged in to my iPhone, but it's not charging. You have to press the button to make it come on, and now you can see that it's charging. If you don't press the button, charging won't start, and you should always check that your item is charging before you walk away. In order to test this battery pack, I fully charged it, then I hooked it up to my iPad 3, which was at 15% capacity. It took 2 hours and 10 minutes to deplete the battery, and it changed my iPad 3 from 15% to 78%, or a 63% charge. This table gives you some of the capacities required for some smart devices that you may be using. Like an iPhone 4 requires 1,420 milliamp hours, while an iPad 3 requires 11,560, which is quite a bit. As you can see, the Jackery Giant will not fully charge an iPad 3 or 4 because it only contains 10,400 milliamp hours of capacity. In addition, you have to consider the losses in the charging circuits of both the battery pack and the device you're charging, the energy loss in charging, and the generation of heat. Based on my testing, I was able to get 7,282.8 milliampere hours of capacity, or roughly 70% of the 10,400 milliamp capacity of the battery. This is a good result. This means I could charge an iPhone 4 or 5 more than 5 times, an iPad 2 105%, an iPad 3 or 4 70%, an iPad mini 162%, and a Kindle Fire 166% of full charge. Overall, I like this battery quite a bit. I like the way it's readily manufactured and constructed. It's attractive with its metal case, and I love the fact that it has dual outputs, which means you can charge 2 items at the same time. The output combined will be 3.1 amps, so if you try, you cannot exceed that, so just remember that in the instructions. Overall, I rate this product as a 5-star item. This review was done by JJ CEO. I'd like you to know that I received a sample for test and evaluation, and I promise to do a fair and honest review.